Hello, and welcome to the Spoonie Authors Podcast, a podcast where we explore the stories of a different disabled author every other Friday. I'm your host, Diana Gunn, and today we are joined by Robert Kingett. Robert Kingett is a totally blind author who writes essays and fiction where disabled characters live normal lives. When he's not writing, he loves to listen to fiction podcasts. Visit him at blindjournalist.wordpress.com. Hello, Robert.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have you with us and to talk about your upcoming project, Artificial Divide. So, can you tell us a little bit about this anthology?
Yes, yeah. So it's an own voices anthology comprised entirely of blind and visually impaired authors. And short stories will consist of disabled protagonists dealing with very complex emotional conflicts with our artificial intelligence. And Renaissance Press is the publisher of the anthology.
Awesome. Renaissance Press is really great to work with. By all accounts, we've had several of their authors on here, and of course, one of their founders. And it's just lovely to see the work that they're doing, and I'm really excited for this project in particular. May I ask what inspired you to work on this?
Sure. So I saw a trend of just disabled people not being taken very seriously in literature. So for my first anthology, because I have many more planned. So for my first anthology, I'm making a second anthology too, actually. For my first anthology, I thought let's try to go narrow and let me see how much hair that that I lose making the anthology. So the basis for the topic came about after uh, watching a movie about artificial intelligence called Her, and and so I thought, okay, well, this is interesting. Let me try to see how a disabled population uh, would handle technology as it grows. You know, what kind of relationships would disabled people have with our artificial intelligence. So that concept intrigues me very, very, very deeply because I love character-driven narratives. So I thought, okay, let's try to put the concept to a test and see what so many brilliant disabled writers create. So, yeah.
Awesome. And what were some of the challenges of pulling this project together? This sounds like a lot. I know you mentioned losing some hair.
Yeah. Yeah. So the project was making sure how to authentically um, judge judge the authenticity uh, of for the own voices work, because there was some slight worry in the beginning, that was basically like, well, how do we judge? How do we judge these stories and know that the writer is not just trying to take advantage of a good thing? Um, so that was a really unique challenge to overcome. But I'm very happy to say that we managed it without compromising privacy or things of that nature. So, and for me personally, um, I like to write a lot. So naturally, I tend to gravitate towards writing styles that I really like. However, creating this anthology has really um, helped me to appreciate different kinds of writing styles and what goes on in a writer's head. So that was super rewarding also.
That sounds awesome. And what was the most exciting part of working on this project? Was it getting to see all of those different styles, getting to work with disabled authors?
Without a shadow of a doubt, it was lifting up a blind and visually impaired authors, because I see so many marginalized writers on Twitter who have great ideas and who have amazing ideas and who are just not taken seriously at all. So the shared thrill of allowing a fellow disabled writer to have the spotlight, to give them a chance and say, well, look at the amazing work they put out. You could have had that. That's extremely rewarding to me.
Awesome. That actually leads really nicely into the next question, which is why are anthologies like these such important opportunities specifically for disabled authors?
Mm-hmm. Um, because it gives each and everybody a stage to show off their talents. Um, I feel that anthologies tend to last longer than magazine issues. Um, Magazine issues or blogs and everything. Because you, basically, an anthology is extremely portable and timeless in a way that magazine issues are not. Um, you know, so so having having anthologies is a really great way to look for new writers and to try out different kinds of stories and creators that you may have never tried before without having to go through like tons of magazine issues or tons of ads and everything like that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think that the anthology also sort of creates its own community? Do you feel
Ye-
connected to those
ye-
writers?
yes, definitely, definitely, absolutely. Working with all the writers has really has really helped a lot of us to work together. Uh, we're not just writers trying to get a literary agent. We're working as a team, and they get to know me and know my tastes and how I give a certain kind of feedback, and at the same time I get to know them and they get to know each other, and each and every writer in the anthology will now have a book they can actually go to and they can say, oh, let me look at my peers rather than coming through Twitter and things like that. So,
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
mhm.
It sounds like a wonderful experience. And you mentioned that you do have another anthology in the works. Can you talk about that yet, or is that on the down low?
That's like so the second anthology is going to be more broad. Um, so the second anthology I'm working on is an anthology involving disabled superheroes. So,
That sounds awesome. I can't wait to find out more about that.
yeah, yes, lots of people are going to love it. Because it plays on the disabled people are inspiration porn trope. So yeah, I think lots of people are going to love it.
You can't see me right now, but I am grinning at the idea. So, yeah, I think that one is going to be a real hit, certainly with plenty of the authors that have appeared on this podcast.
hmm
So, we've talked about why these anthologies are important as writing opportunities, but why are they important in terms of representation? And how do you think these anthologies can push toward better representation in publishing?
Because it's actually kind of a middle finger to mainstream publishing, where that kind of says, oh, nobody really wants to read your stories yet. Well, here's proof that that's not exactly true. So like it gives publishers less and less of an excuse to say no, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and definitely.
Okay, it's a business decision. What if we've proven we can sell these stories on our own? Then how is this a sound business decision?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like it's still an uphill battle to get, mainstream publishing to take you seriously as a crypt lit writer, but these anthologies can really help shape the diversity narrative in the sense of moving it forward, moving the conversation forward. Plus, it actually dictates how the conversation is going to go. Because when you pick up an anthology, you're basically at the whims of the people who created it, and that includes disabled people. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that is the end of our questions. Where can people go to find out more about you and about Artificial Divide? When can we look forward to that?
Okay. So our Artificial Divide will be coming out in 2021, and you can go to my website to get the latest and greatest news, which is blindjournalist.wordpress.com.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to that very much. I can't wait to read it, and it's been lovely chatting with you. Have a safe and happy end to 2020, or, as close to that as you can manage.
Mm-hmm. You too.
All right, bye. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Spoonie Authors Podcast. The Spoonie Authors Podcast is part of the Spoonie Authors Network, a community initiative devoted to sharing the stories of disabled authors and educating abled people about what life is like for disabled creatives. Transcripts of this podcast are also available on the Spoonie Authors Network. To learn more or become a contributor, visit spoonieauthorsnetwork.blog. And of course, if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure to leave a 5-star review on your favorite podcast streaming platform.